referencing, like I said, since my equipment was already open, I would normally have to grab from the middle of the like the open stuff, so I don't contaminate the edges, because the edges, like I keep saying, are contaminated. So I would have had to pick that up once it was on the bed and grab like this and then set it in the trash bag. Okay, so now I am going to just kind of assess again, make sure everything's okay with my zero field, and I'm going to go ahead and start the cleaning process. So I have one of my Q-tips, and the rule of thumb is always cleanest to dirtiest. So I am going to dip it in my solution, and this isn't the proper cup, but this is the only thing we have. So I am going to start cleaning. So I'm going to go around the edges.
Inside. Wait, start from the inside.
And gonna start on the inside. Wipe, and then start going, and then throw this away. And then I'm gonna pretend like this is a new one or whatever, and then go into the edges, around the edges. So I started from inside, I'm going around the edges. Get a new one. So this is my new one. Dip in the solution. And I'm now at the furthest of my corners. And I'm just gonna note everything and see if I see anything better than what I did before before I assess. And then I'm gonna pretend this is a new Q-tip, and I'm going to pretend this is a new Q-tip, and then I'm gonna break it off and measure. Put that here and measure the diameter later. I'm gonna throw that away. And now I'm going to dress the wound. So I'm going to take my gauze here, and I'm going to, depending on what type of wound it is, you could get this wet, but we're just going to pretend this is a good type of wound where it's already got moisture building up. So we're just going to pretend that I'm not dipping it in, and I'm just going to seep it through. And this one's contaminated, so I have to throw that one away. Can't use that. Or normally I would just have to keep that on the bed so I wouldn't contaminate my gloves. So in purposes of that, I would have to keep that there, and then once it's cleaned up, throw that away, whatever. And then normally you could, as Bridget explained, you could take a Q-tip and kind of weave it in the hole, but since I don't have any more of the picks, I'm just gonna pretend that I did that and all the gauze is inserted into the wound. So then I'm going to dress it, and the Q-tips would help it make sure I'm not like contaminating my gloves and I didn't get anything on it. But like I said, since I don't have them, I'm just going to pretend it's sticking in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay this on there, and then I'm going to put my certain
the blue line. Blue line to the sky. Flip the AB pad.
Oh. Okay, so that's going to be there, and then I'm going to put my date and initials on the thing so the other staff knows when I changed it, when it needs to be changed again. And then I'm going to re-tape everything depending on if they want it laced or if they have a tape allergy, whatever. Tape it or stitch it up, but we don't have that here today. And then I am going to ask her how she's doing, if she's okay, if that seems comfortable for her. And she says yes, so therefore I'm going to go ahead and and then I'm just gonna leave that there, and then I'm going to take off my gloves. And wrap all this up, and throw this away. And then I'm just gonna assess her, and then pull up her sheet. Lower her bed a little bit. And then I'm going to measure, after that's all done, measure the Q-tip and see what the diameter is. good, and that's gonna be for charting. And then I'm gonna lower her bed and clean everything up, and I'm gonna make sure her call light is in reach and ask if she's okay. She says she's doing fine. Then I'm gonna go chart the tunneling, the length, the diameter, the width, and note how many gauze passes I used and what supplies I used, how long it took me, and what time I did it at, and if the patient's oriented and all that stuff. And that's it.